just cut me off and she won't even let me know the reason.
Alright guys, so before I get into this review, I just gotta make an announcement. I just hit 1,000 subscribers. I know, I couldn't believe it either. It's crazy, like 1,000 of you really woke up, listened to a new album and thought, oh boy, I can't be bothered to make my own opinion, so I'm just gonna let some drawing tell me how to feel about it. And I just gotta say, I'm extremely grateful. Seriously, you guys don't realize whose life you're changing by just watching my videos, and that's really all I need to keep going, so thank you. But on that note, we also got a new album from, hey editor, who dropped a new album today again? Oh yeah, Lil Baby also dropped a new project called It's Only Me, being a pretty straightforward set of hi-hats, heavy 808s, and solid features to make for one of the albums of the year. Alright, so I'm gonna start this off by being honest and saying that this did not need to be 23 tracks long. I mean, it only really is this long because there won't be a deluxe, so instead Lil Baby's just stuffing everything into one album for the streams and hoping that one will become the viral hit. I mean, it just feels like it's stuff with a good bit of bloated and repetitive tracks. That's only difference is the pace of the beat patterns, such as on the songs Perfect Timing, Top Priority, and FR. But at least Lil Baby has stepped away from the Young Thug imitation criticism he received with his previous project My Turn, with him finding his own sound and style throughout these past 2 years and solidifying it with this project. But I guess when it comes to the lyricism, it's pretty solid, with him bringing up his stubbornness in the earlier days of his career and how he's trying to help lead the next generation to do better than him. Or how on the last track Russian Roulette, he acknowledges how he's not going to let his people down, and him putting his best foot forward, with him really trying to dish out something real and inspirational as a sign off for this project. But still, for the majority, it does contain the usual braggadocious and materialistic bars talking about what he'd do for a woman and his friends, so there's that. But I guess my main issue stems from how he really isn't showing much for me to be impressed by, kind of giving me the same feeling I get with listening to 7220 from Lil Durk or anything from NBA Youngboy, seeming to be pretty formulaic and safe for the average Lil Baby fan, and any attempt to really branch out just seems a bit lackluster on this project. And as for the production, I would also say it's pretty basic for the most part, going for the sad piano trap beat or the heavy 808s and hi-hats to make for some pretty standard Lil Baby beats such as California Breeze or Hey, but still there are some interesting moments on the production side, such as the beat switch we get on Pop Out, going into this more fast-paced, hard-hitting sound that really caught my attention and made it one of my favorite tracks on this album, alongside the accompanying Nardo Wick feature. And there was also a light tone switch on Shice Talk that helped kinda hype up both Lil Baby and Pooh Shicey's verses that I did enjoy, making things seem a bit more fast-paced and high energy once their verses came in. But in terms of actually giving us a new sound, the tracks From Now On and Stop Playing seem to be the ones trying to do the job, but with only the former really executing fairly well, mainly drowning everything out in bass boosted 808s, while the latter tries to go for this more darker tone, but instead sounded more like a cheap attempt at a James Blake beat, making it one of my least liked tracks from this project. But as for the features, we got a slew of big names such as Future, Young Thug, and Pooh Shiesty, with the majority executing pretty well, but I guess the only feature I didn't really care for was Jeremiah on the track Stop Playing, honestly seeming to be pretty forgettable alongside a track that just didn't really do anything for me or them either. But I guess I could say that the Young Thug feature on Never Hating was pretty lackluster as well, with Thug bringing just about the same dull energy that I'm getting from Lil Baby on this track, which was pretty underwhelming for me. But in terms of the ones that I did like, there was Friday on Forever, giving us some strong vocals to bring in Lil Baby's verses and finish the song off alongside a nice wavy beat that all came together pretty well. And the Nardo Wick verse on Never Hating was pretty good, honestly outdoing Baby and not even being too long to take over the song. And as for Future, I would say I liked his verse if I understood it a bit more, either being drowned out by the beat or him just slurring his words a bit too much, but at least he brought the rhythm and flow to make the track From Now On one of my favorites. But overall, this was alright. I mean, I guess I don't listen to Lil Baby enough to truly understand the appeal, but this feels not really much different from the mainstream trap sound I've heard already. So to put this on a scale, I'm giving this a high 5 out of 10, basically just being a reminder of why I don't listen to Lil Baby, but another reminder of why he has such a large fan base. But how do you guys feel about this latest album? What would you rate it? Let me know down in the comments. I like and subscribe, and follow my IG and Twitter, and follow yours as well if you like the illustrations. And on that note, I'll see you on Monday when I tell my 1,000 subscribers that I stole $1,000 from their bank accounts. Peace.